Get social with us. Follow us on Instagram at Goodtaste TV.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Good Taste for the Soul. I'm Tangi Patton. If you watch our TV series, Good Taste with Tangi, no doubt you're aware of the HEB wine finds. Those are the segments where each week I present 3 or 4 wines that I suggest you guys try out. I vet these wines before they ever make it onto the show. I literally go into the HEB wine stores, select a variety to try, and then my favorites make the TV series. Well, today you're going to meet the man in charge of buying every single wine for every single HEB store all across the state of Texas. His name is Dan Schuette, and boy, does he have a fascinating job. Hope you enjoy the conversation. Welcome, Dan. Good to see you. Welcome to Good Taste for the Soul. This is a different medium for you and I to talk together.
Yeah, great to see you too, Tangi. I'm looking forward to this today. So it should
Well,
be
I am
exciting. Should be
too.
a lot of fun.
Well, I have no
Good.
doubt all of our viewers are too, because who doesn't love HEB? And once you get inside, who doesn't love an HEB wine department, right?
Absolutely. Hope so.
Well, and as I've told you on our TV show, I love our restaurants. I love our other
Yep.
segments we do, but I get more comments, total strangers coming up talking about the wine. And sometimes I stop them and say, you realize we do food too, right? But it's the
Yeah.
wine they focus on. So for folks who don't know you, because you are definitely kind of hovering above the stores in a big way, you are literally the guy that leads the team that puts all of these wines from all over the world into the HEB stores, right?
Absolutely. So I don't know about the hovering part, but I definitely have the
Metaphorically.
luxury or the right. I have the luck or the great pleasure to lead a fantastic team to support our stores and to get them great wines. And I have been doing that for quite a while. So I've been with the company 28 years, and
Wow.
if any of your customers or fans know about HEB, is like we've got a lot of folks that have worked with a lot of years, and we have a lot of pride in working for HEB. And it means a lot to me personally just to still be here and be a part of the team. But I've been in the alcohol part of our business since I'm trying to think 2010,
Wow.
and have been leading our wine effort since then, and have got a great team of doing buying efforts now for us that keeps growing each year. So.
Well, and when you mentioned the great team of HEB, it is a great
Mhm.
team, and I don't think it's a stretch to say it's one of the things Texans are very proud of is HEB. You
Mhm.
guys are not only great neighbors in the
Mhm.
neighborhoods across the state where you have stores, but you're also incredibly generous with your time and efforts. I mean, the recent floods is just one example. Anytime there's a
Oh yeah.
crisis in
Yeah.
Texas, you guys have specialized teams that show up and help the communities.
Absolutely. We put a lot of focus and energy, tons of hours in advance of situations,
Yeah.
unfortunately, like happened in Kerrville, so that we can respond as fast as possible, doing everything we can for that community and the communities around that area or wherever a situation happens.
Yeah.
Honestly, Tangi, we feel it's something we owe our communities and that we want to be there for them. And so many of them, there's just struggles no matter what of getting your feet back under you, and anything we can do as a group to support that, as a company to support that, we're going to do our best to do that. We're not perfect at it, but we do our best to be there and be there no matter how long it takes to get those communities back up and going. So,
Well, I think if you spoke to some of the folks in those communities, they'd say you're pretty darn perfect. I was out in the Hunt area in Ingram this past weekend talking to some of the folks affected, and I saw
yeah.
lots of wheelbarrows with HEB and
Oh, yeah.
shovels and mops, and even one of the folks who lost everything but the walls of their house, said how
Yeah.
generous people had been and how many HEB gift cards were floating around and being given out, and what a wonderful thing that was to receive in the
Oh, yeah.
situation they're in. So it's very
Yeah.
heartwarming. We're very proud of our
Yeah.
HEB.
Same here.
That's
Same
for
here.
sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your
Absolutely.
role in the wine world. So,
Uh-huh.
for folks who watch TV in Texas or maybe watch
Mhm.
our show, they always see I call it your commercial with
Uh-huh.
HEB. This
Uh-huh.
is the HEB Wine Department essentially,
Uh-huh.
and it shows you in these destinations
Uh-huh.
around the world. And it's not
Mhm.
smoke and mirrors Hollywood stuff. It's real, right? This is where you guys
Ab-
find the
oh,
wine.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, both the key locations, the one in Italy that's shown a lot, the one in Spain that's shown a lot, were at the wineries, at the vineyards that are owned by the families that we were, meeting with and talking with in the video that I was with. The Druin family, one of the gentlemen in the video, in the commercial, excuse me, is Laurent. I've known Laurent since probably 2012. He's a great friend of mine. We've done, a lot of business with him, and that was a key. I wanted to have him in the commercial because we love selling his Burgundy, he and his family's Burgundy wines. And then in Spain, Maria is the family, a key member of the family that owns Cune Winery. We've known and worked with them for years as well. And so for one, it was a way to say thanks to them for doing so many things with us through the years, but also a way to show to our customers that we really are going out to the vineyards, to the fields, to the wineries, to meet with these winemakers and these families to build business and to build ideas, and to bring back some incredible wines from those regions and from those cities and towns. So I'm more than spoiled having the opportunity to go over there. I wish I could do it all the time, but I do try to get over there a couple times a year. It's one of the great things that, our commitment to wine here with HEB, that we will go out there and look for wines and build with families like that. And the commercial was just a great way to show that off and to say thank you to those wineries, but also to try and help customers know even more about what kind of wines we have. So,
No, I think it's great, and the fact that it's so true. I mean, for all we know,
oh
after the
yeah.
cameras stopped rolling, you guys went back to tasting wine, right?
Oh yeah, we did. We couldn't taste on camera, so we had to taste off camera. So we definitely were. So they were pouring some beautiful wines, and I'm like, okay, we're not pouring all that out. We need to taste some of that. So
Absolutely, it's not a prop.
yeah, no props. Yep.
You don't want to waste
So
it. In general, so when you guys
uh-huh,
have teams that go out, and it could be
uh-huh,
Napa, it could be Oregon, or it could
uh-huh,
be, around the world, how many
uh-huh.
people at a time are out there sourcing and sampling the wine? Because I think it's a fair statement. The wines you guys have on your shelves, many of them have been hand tasted, right?
Absolutely. So there's usually at least two of us. I'm not always on all those trips, but different members of
Hmm.
my team, but I do go on several of them. But we usually have two members of our team because we want to have more than one judge point and one viewpoint of a tasting of a wine. Because everybody tastes a little bit differently and to see different things from those wines. But I can, honestly say almost every wine on the shelf that we have tasted. And the ones especially from the smaller wineries, the mid-tier wineries, those especially, we've tasted all of those to help pick those and to help call those out, to help really curate those that we think those are wines that our customers will really enjoy and be, have fun with, and be delighted to see those wines. Along with a lot of the wines from the larger suppliers that everybody sees kind of across the market. So,
Yeah. So, well, it lends a lot of credibility, I think, to the wines
mhm,
in the department, that it's not just something someone recommended. You guys really have gone out. And I want to be sure I've
mhm,
got the statistic right, but I've always heard HEB is the
uh-huh,
largest retailer of wine in the state of
mhm.
Texas.
Absolutely, yeah. So we've been working hard to attain that and sustain
Yeah.
that, and across the state, even though we're not broadly in the Dallas Fort Worth market, we've attained we're selling the most wine in the state at this point
Which
against
is
all of our
amazing.
competitors. It's crazy how amazing it is. I'm just proud of my team for what we're able to do, and with our store departments, the department managers there, how well they do at selling these wines as well. Just the joy of taking care of as many customers as we can, and getting them as many bottles as they'd like to have. So, but yeah, we're definitely there, and now just the battle, the tough battle is to stay at it and contain that or sustain that. So,
Well, because you guys are the biggest, I would imagine
mhm,
you have the ability to get some really good deals on wine and get
mhm.
wines that some of your competitors can't, right?
So, almost all the wines are available to everybody, but not everybody's willing to take chances on different wines. And yes, our size gives us a lot of, or credibility to go buy these wines, and to access wines that not everybody's going to take. Part of it is
Mhm.
that we've got a super broad assortment compared to a lot of our competitors. But
Mhm.
even against the the competitors that may have a bigger wine assortment, we feel strongly that we do a better job of curating to our Texas customer about what they're wanting to drink and what they're
Mhm.
wanting to have with their steaks or with their poolside and those, that those kinds of pieces. So yeah, we end up with a lot of wines that others don't carry, and we're proud of that. We want to be distinctive and be a place that customers know they can come to find, unique and fun and different wines that that they're gonna really enjoy. So that again is it's something we do across the store where we want to be unique and distinctive for our customers, but have all the wines and other products that they want that they may see in our competitors. But we want to have things that are different and unique for them also. Change it up.
Well, you also are known for HEB has a very interesting, very smart policy and
Uh-huh,
procedure when you guys go into a market. You,
uh-huh,
when you go into a, and nothing against your national competitors, but whenever I'm in
uh-huh,
a market where where some of them are there, um,
uh-huh,
the stores feel generic, right? I always
uh-huh,
feel like if I go in XYZ supermarket
mhm,
in, let's say, Dallas, and then I go in
mhm,
one in Arkansas,
mhm,
they're going to be the same. In
mhm.
Texas, you guys have done an incredible job of having your stores are neighborhood stores. It's not
Oh,
like a
absolutely.
giant
Yeah.
cookie cutter stereotypical
Uh-huh.
layout for every store. They're different, aren't they?
That's absolutely correct. It's also one of the hardest things we work at is recognizing that every neighborhood, every part of a city is different. Every town's different than the town 20 miles down the road. Different cultural backgrounds, different pieces that are important to that community that all drive what kinds of food and wines that they want. And so we're constantly
Mhm.
tailoring and making sure we have unique products for that customer and really leaning into having more of what they've shown us they want. We spend a lot of time asking them, what else do we not have that you would love to have for you and your family or your friends? And so, yeah, we work really hard at that so that the sets are a little different, sometimes a lot different.
Yeah, they are.
And I could call out both in wine and beer, especially that the set you're going to see in parts of Austin is going to be very different than what you see in parts of San Antonio, parts of Houston, parts of Dallas. Uh, because the communities are very different, just different, like I said, different backgrounds. Uh, and again, that helps us drive and what we're putting in there by paying attention to that. I really think it's about caring for those customers each, so that we're not forcing something on them versus offering what more and more of what we think they want, and then
Right.
editing and changing as we find that okay, that wasn't quite right. We'll fix it. We'll get them something else, and so forth. So
Well, you're also really good about, we may have a wine we feature on the show that maybe
uh-huh.
Beaumont doesn't have or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
but I always tell the viewers, and then I hear back from them too when they do
Yeah.
it, that if they'll just talk to their manager in the store,
Oh
let
yeah.
them
Yep.
know what it
Yeah.
is you're looking for. You guys have an uncanny ability of bringing things in that your customers want.
Yeah, we give our department managers a tremendous amount of flexibility and
Mhm.
and openness for them to bring in what their customers need. When they get customer requests, they're going to do everything they can to get that wine or that anything, food, wine, especially for the beer and wine department managers. We're going to do everything we can to get them the product they're wanting or that saw on TV, they saw on your show.
Yeah.
Because again, we're not perfect in having it all in the right place every time, but we want to work to fix that. If somebody wants to try a new wine, we're going to do everything we can to get it there for them.
Yeah, and you can it's so easy to try wine in the store too before you buy
Oh
it. You
yeah,
make it really easy. So there's no buyer's remorse. You know what you're
right.
walking out
Yeah.
of the store with. You guys also have an ability, and I think any shopper would tell you, you're so incredibly competitive on your pricing.
Mhm.
And I would imagine you must have people that focus solely on how to be the best deal in town. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, you guys, it's uncanny how you stay
Yeah.
on top of the wine pricing. Do you guys have people
Yeah.
that go around to different stores and are you aware of pricing constantly?
So we use a lot of different methods. I won't go into each of the methods,
I
but
know you
and we
can't
do,
share it.
but we do have parts of my team that that's specifically what their focus is to
Yeah.
ensure that we're offering our customers the best price every day. Our piece is like there are gonna be some times we're beat by a sale price and somebody put on an ad for that week, but day to day, and a lot of times we beat those ad prices as well. But in general, in our ask and our effort is to ensure that every day they come in there and they want to get their favorite wine, and that we're expect our my expectation of my team is that we're offering that customer the best price they can get it. And that they don't have to worry about going anywhere, even checking the price. But we owe that to our customers. Is that something HEB is known for is great prices, and we want to make shopping's already sometimes a challenge and a checklist thing for our customers. We want to try and make everything as easy as possible, including buying their favorite wine. So
Yeah. Well, you do. I can tell you because, working in that world, it always amazes me. You guys are always able to get some really low prices. Let's talk a little bit. Speaking of price,
uh,
what do you think? What effect are these tariffs? I think right now, what is it, 15% on, talk about, I guess, the EU in particular, because you guys do
yeah. Mhm.
a big, I would think, I never see your percentage breakdown, but you do have a large selection now of French wines.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And
Yeah, so we've got a significant amount of wine that we're importing through our wholesalers or importers in from across the Europe, including Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, of course, even Great Britain for some sparkling wines from there, some wines from Slovenia and Hungary as well, some from Greece. So we're offering a pretty diverse selection in that sense, and one that we're working to grow because I think our customers are asking for more of those wines. uh, we're going to be at the or be impacted by tariffs as of today it does look like the EU will be facing 15% tariffs on products that we import from there, including wine. That could change, it might not, but we've been working with our wholesalers importers for several months to get out in front of that as much as we can, especially for
Mhm.
these upcoming holidays and this late summer, where we've been working to bring in as much product ahead of time so that there's plenty of wine to buy, for one, so that we don't have short supply and things of key wines. So my team's been working at that. We're also working with again the wholesalers, importers, those wineries to say, okay, how do we balance this out? We want to do our best to not have to raise prices, and in the end, we probably will have to raise some prices on some wines over time. Which ones those are, we don't quite know yet because it's a wine by wine situation on those costs and the impacts and what we're able to negotiate out. In the end, also though, we don't want to negatively hurt these wineries, these importers, and these wholesalers. Because there are partners in getting great wines in here, so it's a piece we're going to work through to balance with them around how we work on these retails and these costs, to get to a situation where all of us try to take some of the hit if there's an impact, and that we try to balance that out. We need them to stay in business no matter whether there's tariffs or not, so that we can keep
Right.
doing what we've been doing with assortment, and bringing in new items. So it's one of our toughest challenges right now. I definitely say to offer our customers a great price and great wines. So, but we're gonna keep working at it. So,
Well,
that's what we're here to do. So,
yeah, I have no doubt. If there's a way around it in terms of
mhm,
finding a way to keep the
mhm,
15% from hitting the
mhm.
customer, I know
Yeah.
you guys will definitely do that. What are some
Mhm.
of the trends right now in wine? Because it's kind of,
Uh-huh.
not to trivialize, it's sort of like fashion. I mean, wines do kind of come and go in terms of
Oh
what's
yeah.
popular, what's in style.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. So I'd call out three key trends that, depending on the customer's taste, one of these probably will fall in line there. Um, One on it, honestly, is low alc or no alcohol wines. We're seeing tremendous growth in that segment as customers are wanting to still have wine, but they want to reduce their alcohol intake with that and balance that a little bit. And so we're seeing tremendous growth there. On the opposite side, and interestingly enough, with a bunch of the same customers there, we're seeing high alcohol wines, or alcohol wines that are typically higher percent ABV or higher percent alcohol than we're on average selling. We're talking about wines that are up at 16% ABV,
Whoa.
and it's tremendous growth there, to be honest. And they're nice wines. Um, it's just different tastes, and it's kind of an interesting, fun trend.
Mhm.
And then the third piece I would call out is that, in a broad sense too, I was talking about European wines. wines, we're seeing a lot of fun growth in the white wines and this white varietals, white blends coming out of all of Europe for that matter, but a lot out of France, a lot out of Italy. We're seeing a lot of the customers in their 20s, their 30s, who are trying these wines. A lot of them have. They're more organically grown. They're
Right.
biodynamically grown. So they're getting a lot more trial, and a lot more customers are taking them out. Now again, it's summer here, and that is the time to sell a lot of white wines. And again, so it's a fun trend we're seeing there that we didn't see last summer. So we're trying to bring a bunch of new items into those areas, and take care of our customers there.
Yeah, and I would say get to know your wine manager and then
Yes.
don't be afraid of trying a wine whose grape you don't recognize because I've noticed you guys are
Yeah.
bringing in some grapes that were new to me
Yeah.
and I have been so pleasantly surprised when I pop the corks in some of those bottles. They've been
Oh
incredible.
yeah. Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. Is like, yeah, don't be scared about the name, but ask them for a
Mhm.
taste. Ask if you can get a trial of something or something similar. But there is, something maybe a lot of folks don't know. There are, several hundred different varietals across wines in Europe, and with a lot of names that I can't say or can't even spell. But they're great wines. They're not Chardonnay, so our customers aren't like or they're not Pinot Grigio. But they're worth trying, and the quality is great, and a lot of really reasonably approachable price points on those, because people aren't don't know it, and so there's not a big demand, but the quality is really good, with a lot of great minerality, a lot of refreshing to the palate taste to it. So again, yes, I absolutely agree. Is like, don't be scared about seeing things called a Certico, or other things like that got a lot of vowels in the word and not enough or not a lot of consonants in the word and not enough vowels, but as an example. So, but yeah, thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, definitely ask your department manager too, or the wine steward there, for a taste of some things. We're always popping bottles, and trying to taste folks on new wines.
Yeah, no, I love that too because often that's where you're going to find the best bargains.
Yeah.
They haven't put
Oh
a
yeah.
ton of marketing money into a brand name,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
they're trying to kind of get a foothold in this market. And with HEB,
Yep.
and they're really some good wines.
Absolutely. No, 100%
Okay, we
agree. Yep.
we just worked
Yep.
on. In fact, I just shot with Ralph last week on
Uh-huh.
the first round of our TV wine finds. And when I went in
Yeah.
there to start investigating your wines, I was amazed. I was expecting the to find a decent wine, and by decent I mean that hadn't had additives and things that it's
Uh-huh.
kind of a
Yep. All
purebred.
right.
I was
Yeah.
surprised at how many, and when I say $10 and $13 wines,
Yeah.
I sampled that I was pleasantly surprised by.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The quality, good or bad, the volume and quantity of really high quality wine that's available on the market right now, is probably the highest I've seen it, maybe since like 2008, when we had
Really?
the recession back there. It's like, so, unfortunately, the volume of wine being sold internationally is down. But what that
Mhm.
means is that there's a lot of great juice and a lot of great bottles of wine available out there for great prices. And especially in those mid-teens, you're going to see,
Yeah.
I said, just like, it's about reading the bottle and reading about the wine and learn a little bit about it. And but yeah, it's worth trying, and worth, like you said, being adventurous and trying a few new things. Yeah, I'm talking to a customer in the store. I always recommend, it's like, well, let's get you one of the ones you love, the wine you love, so you got something to go to, and let's get you something you never had before. And if you like it, come back and tell us why you liked it. If you hate it, come back and tell us why you hated it, and we'll move to something else to try and help you find another, type of wine that you like, to again just expand somebody's palate, and just again to have some fun of learning about and trying some new wines.
Well, it is fun. I think wine is an adventure, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It
Yep.
really is, and it can
1000%.
change every year. You might have a new favorite wine, and that's what makes it fun.
Mhm.
Nothing ever gets boring.
Agreed. So agree. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys do an incredible job, and I think it's so important for people to get to know the wine folks in the department at their
Uh-huh.
HEB because
Hmm.
once they know you, they are so good about honing in on your likes and dislikes, and it really
Hmm.
makes the process when you're surrounded by all those bottles of wine so much easier to pick, the ones you're going to like.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Ralph, and we've got these great partners out there, and I guess close to 200 of our stores now that we focus on training them and educating them, and they do it on their own because they love wine so much. They're there to talk with you as a customer if you're listening, and they want to help you find things. They want to help you find what you obviously are looking for. You want, but they also are going to come up with ideas if you want to be adventurous and you want to try some new things. I would share we we train, or I say train, we provide them education in person once a quarter, really focused on new wines we're bringing in new regions. I say new regions, but more information about regions, just to get them a really good depth of knowledge. And so we want to keep adding to that from a continuous education standpoint. Because again, they're there to be, advisors, guides, whatever you want to call them, for our customers to help with ideas. So I share with them all the time that I love what we get to do because in selling wine, we are a part of some of the best times in everybody's lives, from announcements to engagements to wedding anniversaries to birthdays. And it's like if you can't be fired up in this part of what we do, then let's do something else. But this is exciting and fun because we get to be part of, as well as just a great night with your partner, your friend, whomever, having a great meal with a great wine to go with it. And I was like, that fires me up every day. And I try to share that with them, and we work hard to have folks in it have that same mindset, that they're just fired up about getting a chance to sell wine.
Well, they make the process fun. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah,
They
yep.
really do. Well, Dan, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know our customers love knowing a little more about the man behind the commercial and how
Okay.
all those wonderful wines end up in the stores.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad to spend the time with you, Tangi. Always love catching up with you, and I can't wait till we get to do this again. So, and again, I hope your fans will come in and spend some time with us, and not just in the wine department, but obviously we'd love to see them in the wine department, and hopefully we can find them another great bottle. So, okay,
I have no doubt you will. No doubt whatsoever. Thank you
absolutely.
so much.
You're very welcome. Have a great one.
Thanks, Dan.
Get social with us. Follow us on Instagram at Goodtaste TV.